Hello everyone and welcome back to Be Here Now. Now a very short video today. Basically I was in Castlefield earlier on filming about the Manchester canals, the Bridgewater Canal, which runs behind me here, runs into Castlefield, and it was the world's first industrial canal, and Castlefield became Manchester's amazing revolutionary transport hub because of the canals. Anyway, as I was passing back through, I was going down the canal, and I passed this little bit here. It's kind of an island, and I remember reading about it ages ago, and I thought, you know what, I'll take a look at that and maybe get another video out of it. So here we are, let's have a look. So as you can see, I'm on a very narrow strip of land, very nub of a little island, and if I swing round, see the Bridgewater Canal over there, and this other smaller branch of a canal just there. Well, what is this all about? Well, actually this is where the Bridgewater Canal went, or boats could leave the Bridgewater and go down into the River Irwell, which is all the way down there. But not only that, the River Medlock meets exactly the same point. So all three watercourses meet just down there. But I want to look at this island first because there's some really interesting features on it. So I'm on St George's Island, which is a narrow strip of land wedged between the Bridgewater Canal and the Hulme Branch Canal. Only 200 metres long, it's Manchester's shortest canal, built in 1838. So this was a time when trade in and out of the city by boat was still a huge business, and yet there was no direct link between the canal system and the Mersey and Irwell navigation, meaning all goods had to be offloaded and carted across from one to the other. Now this of course was very slow and annoying, and so the different canal companies began drawing up plans to connect the two. The busiest canal of the period was the Rochdale Canal, which connected to the Bridgewater at Castlefield Basin. But over here was the Manchester, Bolton and Bury Canal, and without being able to navigate the River Irwell, boats on this side were isolated from the city centre canals. And so the MB&B first proposed to build an aqueduct across the river to connect to the others around Castlefield. But the Mersey and Irwell navigation angrily objected to it, sensing a loss of trade. So there were now two options available: build a connection from the Irwell to the Bridgewater, or go the long way around and build a connection from the Irwell to the Rochdale Canal, bypassing Castlefield altogether. Now the Bridgewater Company won, but only just, carving out this short canal here just outside the city centre, taking boats down to the river and vice versa. A year later, just up the road, the Manchester and Salford Junction Canal was opened, avoiding Castlefield and the Bridgewater's tolls. So first of all, sorry everyone for the lack of footage. I did have a problem with my camera at this point, so every time I was talking to camera trying to point at things and explain things, it turned out pretty useless for the video. So you'll have to go without my pretty face for most of this video. So this island anyway, it had a lock keeper's cottage on here, which is kind of where them trees were. It's not there anymore obviously. That's quite a shame. These new apartments weren't there in the 19th century, funnily enough, or even the 18th century. They're very, very recent, but it's still nice that you can get down here, you can access this a little bit, because it should be public. Anyway, so the lock keeper's cottage was there, but this sort of cut out piece here, this rounded piece, I think, I'm not entirely sure myself, but I think that's a crane mechanism used to be there, allowing it to swing round, maybe. Now I'm sorry, but this is what happens when I try to do things spontaneously. In fact, the semicircular groove there seems to actually be where a swing bridge used to be, which crossed the top lock there. Now looking through sources online and in books, most agree that this was a bridge, while only one suggests it was a footprint of a jib crane. Now unfortunately there doesn't seem to be any photos of it online, with or without copyright, so I'm going to have to go with a general consensus here. If you do have any photos of it, or if you've studied this before and you do know that it was a bridge or it was a jib crane, please let me know. In fact, if you have any photos of it, I'd love to see them. Just email them to me and I'll put them on the Facebook page. And you can see, of course, one of my favourite things, I keep talking about it, great red lumps of sandstone down there, typical of Manchester, very local stone. Now, there were originally 3 small locks here, 2 along this stretch and then one at 90 degrees under the railway viaducts. Now the railway viaduct was added later on, that came after the canal. However, in 1962 the first 2 locks, the higher up locks, were removed and the third was deepened. The canal was rebuilt a little bit with brick and concrete at this time. This photo here is a bit of a corker and it shows the difference in height at the Basin when the changes were being made. Now you can see the old lock gate still in position, but the new brick wall showing how high the water would eventually go. This is another great photo. This shows the new lock gates arriving by barge, and then here is one of them going into the new deepened lock. Beautiful photos. Right, finally this is the money shot, this one right here. This was taken before the improvements, around 1900, so 60 years before the improvements, and it shows the canal as it was originally. 3 locks and a narrow little towpath alongside leading down to the Basin. Now notice also the terraced houses there, and in the background you've got Edgerton Street way off back there, which would eventually become the Mancunian Way. And finally, as we get into the 1970s, we see St George's Island completely abandoned here, dishevelled, forgotten about. The lock gates there at the top fixed open permanently. Now this set of gates were left after the improvements and have survived all the way to the present day, but they're not completely original, although they are very, very nice to look at. In the end, both the Bridgewater and the Rochdale canals were both bought by the Manchester Ship Canal Company and thus stopped being competitive. And the longer canal to the north was abandoned in 1922, deemed unnecessary. Now the canal here at Hume Lock was used all the way up until 1995, when a new lock was built down at Pomona, rendering this one obsolete. Right, so there it is, and as you can see it's not accessible on either side, but what I'm going to do, I don't know why they do that, miserable bastard. What I'm going to do, I'm going to see if we can get around, see if there's a way around this. Well, I can't access the lock, it's behind this fence, and I can see part of it. Anyway, you can see the River Medlock over here, just bear with. Yeah, so as you can see, the River Medlock is quite wide here, and this is where it enters the Irwell and the Manchester Ship Canal. And just behind those trees over there is where the canal, the Bridgewater, enters as well. So, nice little junction here. Yeah, bloody high up. I'm not going down there. I don't even think it's safe to go down there. But there you go. One little mystery. For me anyway, it's my mystery, everybody knows it's probably solved. So yeah, great little place, fantastic little, we're under the railway viaducts now, by the way. This is awesome. This is the kind of place you come to do drug deals or knock somebody off, but yeah, cool. Look at that, amazing. Yes, let's not forget that this is also the spot where the River Medlock meets the Irwell. After disappearing beneath Castlefield, the Medlock appears once again over here, off Potato Wharf. Now, this is the place of James Brindley's famous cloverleaf weir, the Giant's Basin, now reduced to safe space. This was where the excess water from the canal system poured into the Medlock and then re-emerged into daylight almost immediately. So this is the River Medlock. It's obviously not got much water in it at the moment, but there's 2 tunnels over there. I'm not sure if you can see that. The left hand side is the tunnel which comes all the way from the river in the city centre and comes underground to here. Now the right hand side is the overflow, the overspill from the canal, from the Giant's Basin, which is just over there. So yeah, this is it, the River Medlock, the Manchester's second river really. And as you can see, it's not suitable for navigation, but it is suitable for industry, and industry did pop up all along its banks, all the way from Clayton almost the edge of the city to here, Castlefield. The entire reorganisation of the Castlefield area by Brindley, including the siphoning of the Medlock, is actually one of the most understated feats of engineering in Manchester's history. Not only that, but the meeting of three of the city's best known waterways here at Hume Locks makes this forgotten area a very special place indeed. Definitely worth a look if you're ever down here. So that's it guys, thanks for watching the video. Sorry I had to put with mostly my disembodied voice, but definitely get down there if you're in the area. Check the branch canal out, check the locks out. So there it is down there, hidden in the trees is the lock, and of course this is the bridge over the Irwell. I think everyone kind of says the consensus is that the ship canal starts here. Ship canal is this, and the Irwell is that. This is just a convenient cutting off point. So there you go. That is the lock and the island that takes the Bridgewater down into the Irwell. Thanks very much for watching. See you later. Let me just show you this while I'm stood here. This is the cutest thing I've seen in my life. There's a couple of geese with like an army of goslings. It's so cute, look at that.